Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dumb and Dumbest podcast, music industry podcast where everything is terrible and the house is on fire. I have a much calmer attitude today because today we're talking about what we're thankful for as our special
Ooh.
Thanksgiving episode. So, Curtis, do you want to share how thankfulness should impact your band's marketing, and how thankfulness impacts the marketing for Doer PR?
Sure. Now, just as a clarification point, me and Matt decided to do this topic because it's a holiday, obviously, in the United States, and we always tell people that they should be using holidays as part of their marketing. So we're staying on brand for it, just so you know. So basically, how you can use thankfulness in your marketing is very easy. Like, for example, just with social media, if someone shares a post, tags you on it, like with like a review or an interview, or they just give a shout out to your band or you as a person, say thank you. I'm not even joking. So many people don't fucking do that.
Oh, absolutely. I actually was complaining about this to our friend Vince Bellino earlier today because we bitch to each other about writer shit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what drives me crazier than anything else?
What's that?
So one thing that drives me crazy is people who I haven't spoken to in years hitting me up coincidentally the day their record was released.
Oh,
You know? But what drives me crazier than that
mm-hmm.
is people who what drives me crazier than that is people who do that whole thing, fucking beg me for a review because, oh, Matt, don't you remember when we were young and beautiful together?
Mm-hmm.
And so I give them a review,
Mm-hmm.
and then they don't share it.
Or say thank you for the review, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I mean, usually they say thank you because usually it's via like DM or something that they ask,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool, but like, show me you're grateful.
Well, exactly. Like, here's one thing that I've noticed just in the past week, and I'm not going to name any names, but I personally have tagged and shared interviews or reviews or streams for bands that I work with. And I'm not joking you, there's probably been at least half of them have not reshared the post or even acknowledged that they've seen it. Now, that could also be because Facebook's fucking up, granted. That could be the case. It could be. And because I know I've had that happen to me where Facebook doesn't give me notifications for days, and then I go look at my business page and there's like 60 notifications and I feel like a dick. But I mean, the point is that if you do see the tag or something like that, share it. Say thank you. And the reason why you want to do that is because A, it lets the other person feel like you appreciate them, and B, will also increase your chances of being seen on social media because if you say thank you to a post, it goes up in the algorithm. Anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. That's sort of the thing is like people want like these people are doing you a favor
They
by
are.
learning about your band. Like
They are. Yeah, and most of them just want recognition, believe it or not. And I mean, they say they don't want recognition. They try to act like they're like the cool kids and stuff like that. But if you actually say thank you routinely to writers for helping you out, they do appreciate it. I mean, anybody likes to feel acknowledged and appreciated.
well, okay, so I think it's not. I think it's recognition, but I also think it's like they're so used to being treated like shit.
Well, that's the thing.
know?
Because everybody wants to know them because they can help them get written up. But then at the same time, they'll give a bad review, and everybody treats them like garbage or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Or
like
they treat them as a doormat, where it's just like, hey, I need a stream in like 2 hours. Can you do it? What do you mean you can't do it?
yeah, exactly. And like, is that like if that's really who you want to be? Like, okay.
But if you want to have some success at all in any business or any aspect of your life, you do need to show gratitude and gratefulness. And I mean, we're not trying to say like be a doormat and be like all fawning and servile with people. We just mean like showing a genuine appreciation for people for what they do. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be thank you, but it could be like, I appreciate you writing the post, or, just sharing it. You don't even necessarily have to say anything, but one thing that goes a long ways though is that when you post a review that you got and you say thank you to Joe Blow, writer of this site, for doing this for me. That goes a long way. Like, one band that really does this really well is Queensryche. They used to do that all the time. I don't know if they still do it, but I remember being personally thanked by them for doing a review for Pure Grain Audio back in 2012 or 2013, and I'll probably always remember that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, fucking Queensryche don't have to do that.
No, not at all. I mean, they're like one of the fucking biggest bands. Well, we're one of the biggest metal bands of the 80s, right? So.
Yeah. Like, but they do it because, oh, well, now they get, like, you get to tell your friends, oh, Queensryche thanked me.
Exactly, and that spreads goodwill for Queensryche, and it also just it's a goodwill thing. It's like goodwill marketing. And for those of you guys who don't know what goodwill marketing is just basically doing things that will increase your reputation with people and brands and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And this is just one of the most important aspects, I think. Again, when you're trying to sort of get some eyeballs towards you, it's just like, if you want people to give a shit, then you have to show that you give a shit.
Exactly. And another way that you can also express being thankful for to reviewers and stuff like that is just by, even if you're just commenting on some of their other posts that they've done, that goes a long way too, because a lot of times writers don't know what people actually are thinking about their stuff, because if nobody comments, a lot of places don't have comments turned on anymore, but if nobody tells them, they don't know what people are thinking, right? So, sometimes that'll get them to the point where they kind of feel like no one cares and they'll just give up, won't do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely, I definitely struggled with that for a long time,
Yeah.
like, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's definitely a very, like, as a writer, it's definitely a very hard thing to be like, what's the point if no one's clicking, or no, like, if all you have is a number that's, for me, basically been consistent since the senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Like, at least for Two Guys Metal Reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it takes some coming to terms with.
Yeah. And the thing you got to keep in mind too is that you yourself would appreciate it when people comment on your work yourself. So if you appreciate that, you just got to reciprocate a bit, because the more you give out, the more you get. So if you're appreciating other people, as stupid as it sounds, it comes right back to you.
Exactly.
So I think we've made our point here.
The point being, be grateful, be kind, and it's going to work out.
It will. Now, can we move on to a second part of the Thanksgiving
talk? What's the second part of our special Thanksgiving
Black
spectacular?
Friday is coming up. So this is the time of year when everybody gets all commercialized and into this buying and selling mode. So take advantage of that. I know I posted about this last week on my Instagram about Black Friday, and Billy from the Glorious Rebellion was mad at me for it because he doesn't think bands should whore themselves out. He's right, but at the same time, if you want to take advantage of, if you want to make some extra cash, now is the time to do it, because this is when people are looking to buy things. So if you want to make a couple extra bucks, you should do bundle deals if you can. Like, what are some successful bundles you've seen, Matt?
Honestly, the most successful bundle is really just the classic, like, you get CD shirt bundle, CD vinyl bundle, stuff like that.
What kind of pricing usually works best in your experience, do you think, for something like that?
What I've kind of noticed is that since CDs are so cheap to create, just make, like, you can literally just sell a CD for like $3 and still be making profit off of it.
Generally, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I would just have the bundle and then be like, oh, also CDs. Because, like, CDs aren't a huge, like, CDs aren't a huge, like, thing that gets people randy for your band. You know what I mean? But, like, simultaneously, they sell.
They do. Now, another thing too is that you should be hitting up your email list with these types of promotions too, not just posting it on Facebook and Twitter. Obviously do that too, but if you haven't sent an email to your list, which 99.9% of you should have, because Bandcamp will usually automatically ask people for their email. So just send out a big email, somewhat nicely done, but don't spend too much time on it before you head out for your Thanksgiving dinner. and just blast it out to your list and see if you can make any sales off it. Worst case scenario, nothing happens, but best case scenario, you make a couple $100 in the next couple days that you weren't expecting.
And and like, that's what it's about, is like, if you can crank out an extra few $100s in sales, that's going to make your band's life that much easier for the next record cycle, for the next whatever you're working on.
Yeah, and don't buy it. And Billy, I'm sorry if you're listening to this. I don't mean to pick on you, but don't buy into the whole commercialism is crass thing. You can buy into it if you want to, but at the same time, if you're trying to get your band moving, take advantage of the holidays. Use it as a gimmick to get sales. Everybody else does, and it works. Even if you don't like it, that's just how the world works. And if you don't want to do it, then fine. Don't be selling your music. Go play for free. Doesn't bother me, but I highly suggest you take advantage of it.
Absolutely. It's a good time of year. Run a sponsored post, see what happens. People, here's the thing, right? Is people already have their checkbooks out.
They do.
That's sort of the fundamental reality, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that people have their checkbooks out. So because they have their checkbooks out, suddenly they're going to be a lot more likely to want to throw you a bone. No, but like, you get what I'm saying. Like,
I do totally 100%. 100%. I think people probably should have the point by now. If you don't have it, be thankful, take advantage of holidays. What else we got, Matt?
And so now we just need to talk about what we're thankful for, Curtis.
Oh, I'm thankful for you, Matt Bacon.
Oh, thank you, Curtis. I'm thankful that I'm able to help you with your various issues and encourage your children to emulate me.
If anybody has not been watching that, by the way, go watch that at night. It's been happening every night at like 8:30 at night. My kids make fun of Matt Bacon with a bacon bit.
I feel like that I view it more as hero worship. But
well, it sort of is, but it's like a mixture of hero worship and making fun of him because they like Matt because they watch him sometimes. But I think he's a YouTube star, but at the same time, they're kind of mocking me because I'm an associate of Matt Bacon. So
it's a pretty funny multi-layered situation we got going on here, but
and they are not smoking cigarettes in the videos. Those are Popeye candy sticks, which are actually legal in Canada still, unlike in the United States.
Yeah, if you like cute kids being cute, it's a fun little piece of content to check out. Is what
they make fun of Matt. Sierra has slightly better hair than Matt.
That's really incredibly untrue.
I'm just kidding. You probably take way better care of your hair than she ever will. At this age, at least.
She's 7.
Exactly.
I feel like, and I have probably, how tall is she?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. She's short. Well, she's tall for her age, but I don't know.
No, but like, is she like 3 feet tall?
No, she's taller than that. She's probably close to the same height as me, and I'm probably like 5'8", so she goes to my shoulder. So I don't know, whatever that is, 5 feet, 4 feet. I don't know.
Okay, no, because I might have. I probably have more hair than your son is tall.
Oh, Gage is a fucking midget. Yeah, no, for sure. I don't doubt that in the slightest. Gage is like a little tiny midget, so for sure.
But anyway, you guys don't care about how tall Curtis's children are. What do you have to plug, Curtis, before Black Friday?
Oh, I got a few things for today. So today, at some point in the day, there's going to be a stream of Bast, who are coming out on Black Bow Record. I can't speak today. This week, and they're putting out an album whose name I cannot even pronounce, but it's awesome. It's like Black and Doom. Go check it out. It's going to be at No Clean Singing at some point today. So by the time you hear this, you should be able to hear it. Also, Dayglow Morning and Bloody Gyres are streaming their new album in full at Decibel Magazine today. It's really awesome. And then the last thing is Gorilla Ghost is streaming their new album in full at Ghost Cult Magazine. And other than that, also want to plug Matt's bio writing service. I know he's got a special going on that. I highly recommend it. I use him frequently for bios. He kicks ass. Use him. That's what I got to plug.
Awesome. Thank you, Curtis, for plugging. I know what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving.
What's that?
not you.
Oh,
Point being, yeah, so there might even be a Black Friday special coming up. But right now, if you message me at matt@dropoutmedia.net with referencing this podcast, you will get $25 off your bio. It'll be a mere $50 for, and it's not just one bio; it's actually 3 bios, right?
and they all rule.
They all rule. You get a slug, you get a paragraph, and then you get the full fucking chunker.
Woo!
So this is sort of how you grow. It'll help make you look more pro. It's just a good all-around fucking time. Anyway, thank you guys for listening.
Are we done yet?
Jesus Christ.